All right, so welcome to our class today. We're going to talk a little bit about our robot here, our Picar robot. So as you can see, right now, your robot should be plugged in. It has its power source right here, and it's plugged into the monitor right here. You have on top of it, there's a Raspberry Pi down here underneath that this is being powered. You don't want to unplug this right now because if you unplug it, it will uh, basically turn off the Raspberry Pi. But on top, there's this hat. And you can see this is on the off position, but if I click that, lights come on. And now my hat is on. And so if I turn the power off on this, you can see my Picar Raspberry Pi is working. If I turn the power off, it's still on because the hat is helping to power it. But I like to keep this on until I'm ready to go. So I'm going to teach you how to control the Picar from your computer, and then we'll go from there, and then we'll start looking at the code itself. So first thing you're going to want to do, and we're going to look at my screen, is you're going to want to bring up your command prompt on your computer. So somebody in your group is going to bring up the command prompt. And as you can see, we have our command prompt going here. So the first thing you need to do is you have to get control of the Picar using the IP address. And this is basically an IP address 10.100.1.159. That's actually the IP address for this particular Picar. So I type in SSH space, and then I have to type in the name of my Picar. So this particular one is Picar 3 because it has a 3 on the back. So I'm going to type in Goodwill 3 at, hopefully you can see that, and then I type in the IP address 10.100.1.159. Hopefully you can see that, and I hit enter, and now it'll ask me for the password. Well, the password for this particular robot is Goodwill 3. I type it in. You can't see it when I type it in because it's supposed to be secret. But if you type it in, it's there. I hit enter. And now look at that. It is giving me power to that. So there's another Picar over here that's Goodwill 16. So, of course, when you put in the information, you would do SSH space Goodwill 16 at, and its IP address is 10.100.1.161. And then the password is Goodwill 16 with a lowercase g. And then way over there is our very first original Picar. It's slightly different. So its name is not Goodwill 3 or Goodwill 16. It's actually Pi. PI. So you would type in for it, you would do SSH, and then you would do pi at, and then its address is 10.100.1.208, and then you would hit enter, and then it would ask you for the password, and the password for that one is just Goodwill 1 with a little lowercase g. So you'll do that. Let me double check, make sure I'm still recording. I am. Wonderful. Okay, so now I have control of this through the IP address. So now what I want to do is make sure that I can get into the directories. So if you think about directories on a computer, it's basically just the file folders. So you can look on this one. I have the home folder, and then there's, Goodwill 3, because this one's named Goodwill 3 as opposed to Goodwill 16 or Pi. And then I can go into, like the Picar-X folder. If I did that, then there's the directory. And if I go into the student work folder, it would be this. So in fact, that's all you're going to type in. But the first thing you have to do is you have to type in CD because you're changing the directory. So I type in CD space /home / and then for this one, Goodwill 3 or Goodwill 16 or Pi / and then I'm going to put in Picar-X / student _work / and I hit enter, and then you can see that it has given me the blue light. It says this is where I am. So now that I'm in that folder, I'm actually going to run this particular thing of code, which is move.py. So in order to do that, you have to type in on the next line, once you have this right here, once you have that, hopefully you can see that, you're going to type in sudo, sudo, which gives you basically administrative control. I type in sudo space, and then I have to type in Python 3 because I'm going to run this next bit of code using Python 3. And then I type in the name of the file that I want to run, which is move.py. Now, I'm going to hit enter here, but I'm going to put the camera down. You're going to actually, because this is what I'm going to want you to do, to just do a double touch to check this before we do anything. So you're going to lift this up just so that it doesn't like move off the table because it's plugged in, it's on the table. And then I'm just going to hit enter on my computer. And for some reason, it's decided that it doesn't want to do what it's supposed to do. So give me one. Oh, there we go. All right. Just took a little while. All right. So as you saw, it moved. That's why I lifted up. So again, so if I type in sudo space Python space move.py, and then I hit enter, there we go. It moves forward, it turns left and right, and then it moves the head up and down. All right, excellent. So my hat's on, so what I could do is, in theory, I could actually unplug it, and I could put it on the floor like that, and then I could type in sudo space Python 3, and then move dot, it's kind of crazy doing this with one finger, one hand, and then I hit .py and then hit enter. And that's the basic move program, which has all the components to help you to make this thing move, which we're going to look at in the next video. So now go back and you're going to want to, take your Picar and you're going to want to replug in the power. Sorry, crazy video. So I'm going to plug in the monitor and I'm going to replug in the power. And then I will probably, at this point, just turn my hat off to save the battery. Still on, and I can go in and mess with the code, which is our next video. Great.